In a galaxy plagued by Sith Lords, war, and father issues, one tiny green creature has risen above them all. He doesn't talk. He doesn't pay rent. But somehow, he's more important than half the Jedi Council. This is Grogu, also known as Baby Yoda, a name that caused Star Wars purists to spontaneously combust. Grogu is more than just a walking merch factory. He's a survivor of Order 66, a Mandalorian foundling, and possibly a Sith Lord in training, based purely on his food choices. Seriously, is no one concerned that he eats like a horror movie villain? We first meet Grogu locked in a floating crib like he's in intergalactic baby jail. But before that, we know he was at the Jedi Temple when Anakin went full children are overrated mode. So WHO saved Grogu. And how many therapists did he need afterward? Thanks to the Book of Boba Fett, we now know that Jedi Master Kelleran Beck rescued him. Which means two things. One, Grogu has seen things no child should see. And two, he's been dodging bounty hunters, Imperials, and Child Protective Services for 50 years. Grogu's power level is somewhere between Force demigod and toddler who needs a nap after running in circles for 5 minutes. He's stopped rampaging beasts, mind-tricked stormtroopers, and even force-choked people. Yeah, that's right, force-choked. Anakin would be so proud. And then, Luke Skywalker himself tried to turn him into a Jedi. But after realizing Jedi training meant giving up snack time and naps, Grogu made the correct choice. He said, "Nah, I'm out," and returned to his Mandalorian dad, who lets him ride shotgun in a spaceship. Don't let the cuteness fool you. This thing is an apex predator. He eats live frogs, nearly canceled an entire species by snacking on their eggs, and has no concept of personal space. If Grogu had a Pokemon type, it'd be chaos and crimes against nature. Grogu is now on a path no other Force user has taken before. Part Jedi, part Mandalorian, full-time menace. Will he master both traditions and become the most powerful being in the galaxy? Or will he just use the Force to steal more space snacks? The answer is probably yes. He has the teachings of the Jedi, the warrior code of the Mandalorians, and the appetite of a small but determined apex predator. He's a living paradox, both an ancient being with untapped potential and a tiny toddler who thinks every object within arm's reach belongs in his mouth. With the discipline of the Jedi and the ferocity of Mandalore's greatest warriors, Grogu could very well shape the future of the galaxy. Picture this. A grown-up Grogu, clad in full Beskar armor, wielding a darksaber in one hand, while using the fork to levitate his enemies and their lunch trays in the other. A legend who balances Jedi teachings with Mandalorian battle tactics, feared by his enemies, beloved by his people, and absolutely ruthless when it comes to securing his next meal. But let's be real. There's an equal chance he just uses all his power to commit small-scale space crimes. The dude has single-handedly dismantled half the buttons on Mando's ship, force-choked Cara Dune like he was auditioning for Vader, the musical, and actively contributed to the endangerment of an alien species just because the eggs look tasty. This is not the track record of a galactic savior. It's the biography of a tiny, chaotic warlord in training. One day, people will tell stories of the Mandalorian Jedi who bridged two worlds. Children across the galaxy will whisper his name in awe and fear. But will they be talking about his legendary warrior skills? Or the time he stole an entire cantina's worth of food using only the Force and sheer audacity? In another, and much more likely future, Grogu rules the criminal underworld, not through violence, but through sheer cuteness. He doesn't have to fight his enemies. He just looks at them with those big, wet, soulful eyes. And suddenly, they're handing over their entire ship's cargo, questioning their life choices, and wondering how they got emotionally manipulated by a 2-foot-tall baby. The only reason he hasn't already overthrown the entire galactic economy is that Din Djarin is there to kind of parent him. And let's not forget Grogu's already problematic track record. Food crimes? Absolutely. This dude has eaten everything from live frogs to a nearly extinct species' unborn children. Destruction of property? Check. He's been systematically deconstructing Din's ship button by button since Episode 1. Use of the Force for casual violence? Oh, 100%. He's force-choked allies, stolen candy from strangers, and probably committed war crimes in the name of snacks. So what's his future? Will he be the galaxy's first true fusion of Jedi and Mandalorian tradition? A warrior mystic who reshapes the Force itself? Or will he just become a tiny, all-powerful mob boss who runs an intergalactic frog-leg smuggling ring from his floating crib? The answer, as always, is probably yes. Also, he 100% knows things. You don't get that wise old man stare at 50 years old unless you've seen some stuff. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what do you think Grogu's true destiny is? Jedi Knight, Mandalorian warrior? Or will he just conquer the galaxy one frog at a time? Drop your theories below.